Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a Gunner Heat PC video. This is going to be covering the version 33 update that recently just came out for the Patreon. Just going to show off a couple things here, talk about the dev stream a little bit, and do some shameless plugging for the guys at Gunner Heat PC, as well as some other stuff. So let's cover what I'm showing off here. Right now, I am showing off the fact that, hey, tracers are actually visible. See that? Tracers are real visible, actually. They did a great job here for the tracers. Still need a little bit more tweaking, but they're working on it. You know, the fact that the tracers are actually there, they can be tested. We can actually see the bullets now. The fact that it's the wrong color for Russian ammunition doesn't really matter. Next thing I'm showing here is there actually is a day-night cycle now. Now the day-night cycle is not automatic. It doesn't change itself. There's actually keys on the keyboard. There's key binds to change the cycle from day to night. And right now I'm just showing the tracers at night to show that they actually show up a little bit better at night than they do during the day. Which with the red color, amber color tracers, that would actually be the case. They would definitely show up a lot better at night than they do during the day. Even the green tracers would as well. They also added some night optics. And, well, they added IR optics to the T55 and T72, as well as the M60 has its thermal optics, and so does the TOW missile launcher system, which, unfortunately, folks, because I'm incompetent at times, I'm old and shit, I did not show I have no footage here of the TOW thermal optics, but the TOW thermal optics is, I believe it's white hot, but I might have that backwards. It might be black hot instead. Now showing off here, this is the T72, and what I'm doing here is I'm just showing you the exterior. Now, normally there would be a cover over the light, which you really can't see too well here. So I'm making it daytime so you can see this. Now you can actually see that there's no cover on the searchlight on the turret. That's the infrared searchlight. And now it's daytime, and there's actually a cover over the light to protect the light, which, well, you could probably argue how much it really protects the light, because it probably really doesn't protect the light. Now, in the T72 that I'm aware of, or at least I didn't see it in the patch notes, I might have missed it. The searchlight is not a hit location per se on the T72. Obviously the turret is, but that's not essentially active. As you can see here now, I am turning the light on and off. I am doing that myself. That is done with the N key. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking through here. I am actually, you can't see it because it's infrared, folks, but I actually was switching the light on and off with the regular daytime optics. Now I'm actually looking through the infrared nighttime optics for when you're using the searchlight. And basically the trick is it's a combination thing here of you have to have the optics set, which is done with the T key, and then you also have to turn the searchlight on, which is the N key. Now, anything with the infrared optics can actually see your light. I'll show that here in a bit. The M60A3 can't see the light because it does not have the infrared optics, because it's got thermal optics instead. That's how it would actually work in the real world. That was always kind of a give and take tactical solution thing, or tactical problem thing of different tank crews had to come up with different ways of dealing with that. That, yes, you could see at night with the infrared lights, with the infrared optics, but so could everyone else. That was a major consideration doing tank combat at night. If I recall, the British would do something, they would only have like one or two of their tanks. All their tanks would have the infrared optics, but only one or two of the tanks would actually have searchlights on, if I understand it correctly, when looking for targets. Now, I'm trying to turn the searchlight here on the T55, and because I'm old and shit and forgot to restart, I shot the light out. And I'm going to show that here in a bit, that the light can actually be shot hit and broken. So unfortunately, the T55 here, it just has its IR lenser. It doesn't have the IR light right now because I purposely broke the light. Just to show you that on the T55, the light actually is a hit location that can be hit, can be damaged, and can be taken out through combat reasons. Now, what the light you are seeing here is actually the light coming from the T72 because I left its light on. Now, it's not, what I do is I roll up here and I try to get a side profile, and I can't see the light that way. I actually don't think that's correct, but that's also, this is something the dev team is still working on with Gunner Heat PC. They're still working on the nighttime optics. They're still working on the thermal optics. Some of the vehicles doesn't have daytime, any type of night optics yet whatsoever, such as the BRDM2 does not have the infrared searchlight. It's got it modeled, but it's not in-game functioning yet, and that's something that's going to be coming later. Basically, they want to hammer this out with a couple of the tanks, make any tweaks they need to make, and then they'll finally do it for rest of the vehicles as well. So as you can see here, it is absolutely black. I can't really see anything, and that's what I was just trying to show you, that without the optics at night, you're not going to be able to see very well, if anything at all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move around the T72 here a bit, and this is more or less to give you a better view of what it looks like seeing the infrared optics from another tank that another tank is producing. So right now I'm lining up, aiming at the tower here, so that way that's a good aim point. Now I'm going to jump in the T55 here, and I'm going to look at the tower, and I'm going to be able to see the infrared searchlight beaming on that tower. So basically, I can benefit from another person's infrared searchlight. However, as I said, someone else, such as maybe here in the case of there was a British tank, like a Chieftain, they would be able to see those infrared searchlights, and that would be a problem. Now I'm going to show you some of the thermal optics here on the M60, and there you go. It's right now, once again, this is work in progress, guys, but it's nice to see that this is in the game now as something that's operational. This is the thermal, and right now they have a really cheap generic thermal system, and I actually want to throw out there, I don't know why, but to me the green seems really bright. I did bring that up during the dev stream, that the green hot seems really, really bright. Not so much the background, the vehicles themselves. But that could be because they don't have the, how do I want to put it? They don't have the heat dissipation modeled in yet. So I think personally, like the engine area would come up really green like that, really bright green. But most of the vehicle, unless it's a really hot area, like maybe the gun barrel had just been fired off a bunch of rounds, that would show up really bright as well. But I think generally, for the most part, it would still be brighter than the background, but it wouldn't be that bright of a green. That just kind of screams at you. And then what I'm doing is I recycled it to daytime just to show you that it also works in the daytime as well. And I feel that's an important thing with the thermal. Thermal always had its benefits over the infrared. And this was one of the great benefits, is the infrared is useless in the daytime, but the thermal is not. As you can see here, the thermal is working. If there was something that was hot out there, which the steel plates are showing up as a little hot, not like engine hot, but they're showing up as fairly warm, so they're sticking out amongst the ground there, the background. Now, as you can see here, the vehicles, once again, they're like, wow, that's, holy crap, that's green. You know, but it's work in progress. It's nice to see it though. that they're working on it. They're coding it. Now there's some other updates as well from the dev stream. I am going to put a link for the dev stream down below. I'll put the YouTube link there because the YouTube video shouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. But they did give an update on the M1 IP as well as the M2 Bradley, the BMD1, and I think they were also talking about the BMD2, could be mistaken, as well as some of the trucks in that they're going to be adding to the game, infantry weapons, things like that, or different things that they're working on to get added into the game. So if you want more information about what's coming to Gunner Heat PC, check it out. Now really quick here, what I'm showing is I'm showing the fact that the background, the ground was cool during the night, and it didn't show up as, you know, it didn't show as well as it does in the daytime here. And that's because now the ground has the sun beating on it, and so now the ground is warmer. Now I'm going to show you one more thing here, and this is the part I was going to show you. Not so much the T-55's infamous Soviet log, but the tactical log, if you will. But I want to get this turned around here. Couple other quick things. I'm going to post a link to their website, the Gunner Heat PC website, in the video description as well. Take time, check it out, and please, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumb up. It'll get the video more exposure, things like that. Maybe even show up on a person's feed at random. Maybe they're interested in World of Tanks, never heard of Gunner Heat PC. Well, with the extra interaction, comments, thumbs up, subscriptions, stuff like that, it'll more likely show up on someone's feed as a suggested video, raising more awareness for Gunner Heat PC. And that's what the guys really need right now, is more awareness. Okay, so we'll turn on the bad guy light here. We'll call it the bad guy light, because only the bad guys use those lights by this point in the game. This is the 80s. This is the Generation 1 night optics for the essentially the Russian tanks, while the M60, while it may not have the thickest or best armor protection in the universe, it does, however, have like the best optics. Now, as you can see there, the light kind of blinded the optics a little bit there from the flash of the muzzle. That was actually a problem that I'm aware of. It's kind of like a light overload. But that was more of an early generation thing over later generation, like the M1 Abrams. That actually isn't a problem in the Abrams. Now I'm going to try to take and turn this here. I fired some tracers off there to show you that they show up better. They show up quite good, at least I could say, with the thermal vision on. But they do still show up with thermal vision on. And now this takes me a little bit here, but as you can see, you barely see that red. That red is really dark. Okay, still missing the light. See, this is the nice thing about the tracers. I can fire a couple shots and adjust my aim. And there we go, the light is off. So, there you go. Now you got to see it. The light can be damaged, and the fact that you also got to see the T-55 also does have the infrared searchlight as well. But anyway, folks, that's it. That's all I got for you today, video-wise. I mean, there's more minor tweaks and stuff like that they made to the update 33, version 33, if you will. The other thing I'm going to point out really quick, so that was the proving ground, but the Germany map itself, the teaser map, also has day-night cycling as well. Figured better bring that up before I end the video. Didn't really figure it was necessarily really important to show it, just to show that there is this, we got this now, we can do it here and we can do it here. Anyway, folks, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I see you again for the next Gunner Heat PC video.